this though. Oh, here it is. Hi.
On that.
Good morning. That shows me.
Okay, so that's you watching it. No. Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna do with that. Good morning, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Sailing SV Freedom. My name is Joe. This is Kristen, my wife.
Hello.
And not that long ago, we made a pretty bold decision. We decided to go out and get ourselves a 40-foot sailboat. So, where does that leave us today? First off, I'd like to thank everybody, all of our early subscribers. We're nearing 400 right now. And mostly also the amount of views and the people that are watching the video from start to finish is huge. The comments this last video were fantastic. So we really, really appreciate that. So keep coming back. We're going to increase a lot of our offerings, you know. So we have our live community. I mean, our community was set up now. So definitely take advantage of that. You can meet people from all over the world. Go ahead in there and talk to people. I think that's a super cool thing. So we're going to have our lives every Sunday. We're going to have our videos every Wednesday. Might put out a couple other videos, but not quite sure yet. Okay, so today's topic of conversation is teak. Teak. More specifically, the decking on boats in teak.
Mm-hmm.
More specifically on a sailboat, and most specifically on our sailboat.
Yeah, covering like 90% of the deck.
Yeah, so if you watched our last episode, we discovered that many boards were popping up. They were very loose. And if you followed us from the beginning, one of our first episodes was Kristen and I cleaning the teak deck. Now, it's a 40-year-old boat. It's a 40-foot, 13.5-foot beam, flat deck. So there is a ton of teak. So we had the boat inspected. We had the survey done. It noted that the deck needed to be replaced. I believed in my heart of hearts that I could at least get a few more years out of it. So we went to town cleaning it.
We did.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot. We spent probably a day and a half doing it, and we did a lot of different methods than what people say. We went against the grain, with the grain. We used a hard brush. We used a soft brush. We used a 1700 psi power washer, a pressure washer. We did everything we could to get it to look its best so we can get a good idea of exactly what we were dealing with. Before that happened, we noticed like every single screw head was popping up.
Yeah.
So that definitely showed us that the teak was very, very worn. So with that, we knew that it was, I don't know how much longer, we were kind of on borrowed time. I don't know how much longer we were going to get with the current teak, you know, how much longer we get out of it. So my thought was clean it all really well, take the screws out, and then use Sikaflex or a similar product and epoxy it all down to the deck.
Can I ask you something? Like when we did that, how long did you think, or were you hoping that we'd get out of it? You know what I mean? Like I know you said borrowed time or whatever, but
yeah.
Did you think another season or two? Like, you know what I mean?
No, well, I was hoping for maybe 3 or 4 seasons.
Oh, wow.
In my mind, maybe up to 6.
Oh, okay.
Because here's the deal. Once you put that Sikaflex down, I mean, it's going to be a bitch to get off.
Okay.
That's like
right,
like
really.
a 5200, like a serious thing that you really can't take off.
Okay.
So now we're at the point where it's all clean.
Mm-hmm.
Move the screws.
Mm-hmm.
We did probably close to 1,000 screws. We've got to count them up.
Yeah.
But now we have a good level playing field. So we saw it. So now, and we noticed this before too, a lot of the seams were coming out. The prior owners, what they did is they have the caulking, the black caulking that goes between each teak board.
Right.
And they put it on. And it looks like they just put it on over whatever was there.
Right.
You know, they did the best that they could.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all shedding off. It was all coming off. I mean, super easy.
Mm-hmm.
So now with the screws out, with a lot of that seaming out, we had water getting in there. And I think that's what caused all the boards to pop out.
Yeah.
So my last video was I ruined my teak deck. I'll take onus on that. You know, I mean, it was ruined. It's in that condition. But the fact that I took the screws out and exposed some of those seams, it just sped it up a little bit. And probably a good thing, because if we went straight out and put the Sikaflex on the board, on teak boards, and we glued it down and we weighed it down, that's more of a permanent thing. You know, you're trying to get at that point 15 to 30 years out of it.
Right, right.
And there's no way we were going to do that with this teak. So where we're at right now is we want your opinion. We call this one a live community, right? A live, I forgot the name of this one.
The name of the
live community chat. So we need help, right?
Yeah.
I've never done this before. Kristen's never done this before.
No.
Today we're going to the sailboat after church, and it's going to be our last day on the sailboat for the season because she's getting hauled out Wednesday this week. So we want to get a good idea of what's going on. So if you can just hand me a couple, like one piece of teak at a time. So I have some of the boards here. So I want to show you really what's going on with these boards. All right. So
it's like a show and tell. This is helpful.
Yeah. So this here, right, that's one of the bungs that I put in. And then I sanded it down flat, right? So you can see the different color in the wood. Here's where I didn't sand, because I didn't want to sand everything completely. But what I did with this board is I actually sanded down the lip on the end, because if I could show you the way these boards are laid on the deck, they're side by side. They do not, it's not like a tongue and groove. They don't get attached, but they butt up against each other. And then there's a groove that this teak is supposed to be higher, and then the groove drops down and comes over. That groove is about this high. So that means the groove is equal to the size, the height of the teak, which means there's no groove in there. There's nowhere to put that silicone. That's not silicone. To put that epoxy or the Sikaflex in there. So that was a problem. So then my thought was, I'm just going to cut out. I'm going to remove all of those little tiny slips in the middle there. So you want to handle them? The dogs are just insane today. They're German Shepherds. Guys, go outside. Come on. Liberty. Here's another one. This is what I'm going to show you. This is I didn't really do anything with this one, okay? This one I just I put the bungs in, right? So I put the bungs in, leveled them out. You could see behind the bung here and a little bit of epoxy. But look at the edge. You see that lip right here? That's the Sikaflex that's down there. And this is exactly what was happening. So now if I take this off, sorry, we moved our office studio into the smallest room in the house, so I don't have much room. But if you see this, that's that lip right there. That's that lip. Okay, so that's supposed to be deep to be able to take in that Sikaflex. So if you look at it, it's pretty much even, right? So that's why I went to the next thing to test it all, which was removing it like we did in this panel. So now you see it's clean edges. I took it all out. I used a belt sander, a big standalone belt sander that I have in the garage. And I just removed that little lip. You can see there's a little bit lip left here. But again, it's nothing. You can look at this teak here, and that is about 1/8 of an inch. So what we could do is actually do a good measurement here. And if we start at 0, sorry, technical difficulties. All right, so here we go. Let's see. Let me see if I can zoom in right there, or kind of right. So you get the idea here. What you call it, right? All right, so there's the top there. Right, so we've got about 1/8 of an inch. So now we're starting with the teak deck with 1/8 of an inch. Now that teak deck definitely has to get sanded down because there are grooves and waves and it's bad. So now my dilemma is this, and this is where our community comes into play. Where do we go from here? Some people are saying that we can restore this teak. How much more life we'll get out of it, that's the big question, because again, this is going to have to get epoxy down. So once that epoxy goes on the underside of this teak, it's pretty much permanent. But to do that, I have to take boards off. So my thought was to take the boat and divide it into like 8 sections and hand it one section at a time. Remove all the boards, inspect the deck, fill in the epoxy holes from the screws, make sure it's not soft, make sure the deck is solid, sand these down, remove all those edges, glue them down, put spacers in between each one of these boards because that lip is gone, spacer in between each one, and then I can go back later on and put that much of the Sikaflex in there. So about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little bit smaller, because at that point, you know, if we're sanding this all down. Now, how many more years is that going to get us? That's the key, because if you've done this before, if you're a sailor, if you're a boater, or you know, you're into handyman type stuff, epoxy is not going to come off, right? The epoxy, whatever they used 40 years ago with our boat, which was made in Barcelona, Spain, whatever they used underneath it, it's disintegrating, and you can see that in my past video. It's like rubber just coming all off. So the easy part's going to be, I think, cleaning the deck, taking these off. So here's my question. Do we go through that painstaking event? Do we go through all of that, resurface every board, take the space out, glue them down, epoxy them down to get, I mean, maybe we can get 5 or 6 years out of it. I don't know. But it's just not that much in there. Or do we remove all of this teak deck, go through the whole deck? You know, we've got to make sure it's completely dry. If there's any soft spots, we're going to cut them out. I mean, regardless, we're going to do that. But do we go through, take all the teak off and like scrap the teak? Get rid of this idea of this 40-year-old teak. Go through, epoxy all the holes in, cut out any soft parts, replace it. And then at that point, we've got a decision to make. Do we then try to perfect that fiberglass that we have there? Put in a non-skid surface, make it really distinct, very detail-oriented, and go with that? Or do we just repair, seal it, and then put another product down? The new products now, I don't know when they started this, but there's New Teak, Flexi Teak. Those are two pretty big names in the synthetic teak world. We went to the Annapolis Boat Show. They look almost real. I am in love with real teak. They look almost real. I could tell that they're kind of fake because it's all just level, but they still look beautiful. So do we perfect the deck and then have a company come in like those and do that? Do we cheap out and go to the Eva foam, they call it? I think there's Deck-It, Seafoam. I mean, there's a whole bunch of those companies. We've had that before on another boat, and it looked fantastic for the first season. Then it stained really easily. It started peeling up on some of the ends, and when our German Shepherds jumped on board, their nails tore it up. So I really don't think that's an option there. So really, the two options, I think, are to go through, take all the teak off, number one, stage one, and then the second stage is going to be either resurfacing that fiberglass deck or going through with the synthetic teak. I would love to hear from everybody, okay, whether you're on now or eventually, or if you comment in our video, please let us know what you think. Drop your name, where you're from, and what your experience is, because that's very big. You know, we get a lot of suggestions. I mean, nearly 30 on the last video, which is fantastic. I appreciate it. We do need to kind of go through and see the people that are just opinionated based on what they've seen before, which is fantastic. I love it because that's pretty much me. Or do we have guys that are, you know, like 30, 40-year-old old salts that have done this before, that have laid teak before, that were involved with builders, that at this point they know that this teak is gone, or they know, or people that work at one of these other companies that know the product and can say for sure, yeah, you know, you're going to get 10 to 15 years out of this Flexi Teak or this New Teak. Go for it. Those are also going to be glued down, and also there's an epoxy that goes down first, I believe. Or just the diehards that are just like, you know what, just stick with the fiberglass. We need opinions because this is all going to start in a week. right? So today is Sunday. Wednesday, the sailboat comes out of the water. The first thing we have to do is drop the rudder because we're going to get a new rudder in there. It's pretty wet, or we're going to, refabricate it. I'm not sure. We had so many plans for the winter, and this threw us off. This was not a plan for the winter. We were going to do some work on it. Yes, we were going to spend a week or two, preserve it for next year and the year, years to come. But now this is our number one here, because now we're allowing water to go underneath, and water and the decks are not good. I don't even know what the deck is, if it's balsa cord or if it's foam underneath there. I don't know, and I can't get in touch with the manufacturer. It's Northwind Yachts out of Brazil, out of Barcelona, Spain, and I can't get in touch with anybody over there to discuss it. So I'm still trying. I've got emails and phone calls out to New Teak and to Flexi Teak. Those are the top two brands that I think I'd want to use. If there's other ones that I don't know of, please drop it in the comments below. Let me know, because I'm just at a loss. This is number one for the winter. We've got to get the rudder out. I wanted to repaint the boat. Huge. I don't know if I can do that. Kristen's back. She was babysitting the German Shepherds there. Yeah, I mean, so much. We wanted to get all new electronics. We wanted to clean out the inside. I want to get a sail bag or a lazy bag for the sails coming down. I've got a list a mile long, and I've got the champagne dreams and a beer budget. We just invested a lot of money into the boat itself, but we want to keep this boat forever. We want to take this boat to Maine and down. We want to take it to Florida, take it to the islands, maybe cross an ocean. I don't know. She's capable of it. But we've got to take care of her, and it's also an investment now. Like I'm not, one of the options is not to replace it with New Teak, because from what I understand, it's a $50,000 to $55,000 proposition, and then there's the care of that and everything,
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Teak on our other boat.
Yeah, we've had Teak on a couple boats, and we love it. We had it on the Chris Craft, we had it on the Egg Harbor. We love it, but it is a ton of maintenance, which I'm okay with. I could wash it down every week. Wash it properly with like a Dawn, like a regular kind of non-abrasive or non-toxic chemical.
Yeah.
But we got to go beyond that. So we really need your help. The next YouTube live next Sunday, we're going to go on a different topic. If there's something you want us to talk about, please let us know. Drop it in the comments. It's probably going to be about the haul out and how that goes, and we need to have it all braced up higher at the yard so we can drop the rudder. I'm going to make an enclosure for it so I can get underneath there and do this work on the deck over the winter.
It's nice because it's literally 10 minutes away.
Yeah, it's right down the road. In Port Jefferson Village, where we kind of grew up. We grew up here. It's where we went to high school. It's fantastic. We love it. But any locals that want to jump in and do some work with us, we're all game. All right. Any companies out there that want to help us and give us ideas about what your products are like and why your product is better than another, please, by all means, you can send an email to sailingsvfreedom@outlook.com. We'll read those. We read the comments all the time. It took me a ton of time the last 2 days to go through all those comments, but we love it. So
that's good. More comments is better than no
we love it. We love it. That's what's going to grow our channel. We want to be a very interactive channel. Even in some episodes, we're pretty much caught up right now. So we're gonna be things are gonna happen now that you're gonna see. We're gonna film it, and then it's gonna go out on next week's footage.
Yeah.
We may even do some lives that we're just out on the boat, and that's gonna be like our episode.
Right.
So we're out live and filming it, and you guys could see it right there. So that might be something we've got coming up.
Is your plan also, because I was with the dogs, obviously, is your plan to make episodes of what you do over the winter and what you're going to tackle and everything?
Well, this winter, the winter is going to be covered by, we can't sail, the boat's going to be winterized and up on the hard. So it's going to be us working, or me primarily working on the boat, getting these projects done. And it's also going to be us flying down to Florida a lot, because Aiden has his final lacrosse season. He's in college. He's a senior. He plays at St. Leo University in Florida. Shout out Lions. We're going to try to get to every single lacrosse game. He's got one in
St. Louis.
He's got Alabama, he's got Georgia, and then a lot in Florida. So I want to get to all of those. So we're going to take you along with that too. Some of that's part of our journey. And we're also going to do some episodes on our trip to Italy and our trip to Ireland that we did this year. So we'll take you along for the ride. But this stuff is super important right now. It's on my brain. I have I'm not sleeping well, believe it or not. It's hard to fall asleep because I'm just going through all these options and everything. So bless you. Please let us know what you think. Let us know your name, where you're from, your expertise level, and then what you think we should do. That would be super appreciative.
Yeah.
All right.
Helpful. Yep.
On that, we really appreciate for you guys to subscribe, hit that notification bell for updates because we're going to have a lot of those, and share our videos with friends and families that you think that might enjoy this.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. That's it for this Sunday Live. We're going to go to church
Guys.
soon, and appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks, guys.
Enjoy your Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.